everyone, it's Froggy, and I'm back again with another episode of Nicole. So today's episode takes place on November 28th, and I'm just going to go ahead and start. Alicia Henrik sounds like a girl I could have related to. From what I read, she sounded smart, ambitious, and I think she was even on track to graduate with honors. Then this happened, and now she's starting over in some other school. I know that all her hard work and awards will follow, but it's gotta feel sucky to lose all the connections and friendships you've made. I don't want that to happen to me. That's why I have to find out more on Alicia before it's too late. But I don't want to just go barge into that chemistry club room and ask about her. They might mistake me as someone who wants to join, and ew, no thanks. That's how I got the brilliant idea of asking one of the club's advisors. Luckily enough, I also happen to know him too. It's not one of Garver's office hour days, so I stop by his lab to see if he's there. You can call me a lab regular, even if I don't officially work here. I wonder if anyone's annoyed of me yet. Well, it's for a good cause, I think. I'm not exactly sure if learning about Alicia will do me any good at all, but I still have to try. Either that or give up entirely. No, that's not going to happen. I try to put more pep in my step as I enter the lab. The interns know my face by now, so they hardly pay attention to the blonde outsider girl. Might as well see if he's here too, and see if he can tell me if Garver's busy. Ah, there he is. His usual station. With his back turned, Jeff doesn't notice me until I'm right by his side, so I think. Why, hello there, assistant. And to what do I owe this unfortunate surprise to? So the episodes that happen like this, where she's trying to find out information and clues and whatever about the mystery, you're gonna get the same ones no matter whose path you're on, so they're still gonna treat you like they normally would, even if you're on their path and things have happened. So we've seen in an earlier episode that Jeff is kind of weird with Nicole and doesn't call her assistant anymore, but of course this one is in case this is the same cutscene that you would get either way, so he's still going to call her assistant and treat her like he normally would. So just a bit of explanation. He even speaks from the corner of his mouth as he works, not off his game by a second. Impressive. Even if he insults me, he can still keep up with everything. Hey Jeff, I was wondering if Professor Garver was in. I wanted to ask him something. He's out, I'm afraid. He must have better things to do than babysit his incompetent staff today. I sigh loudly as disappointment settles in on my chest. It's not like I can just ask him after class, but every moment that passes with me doing nothing puts me on edge. Jeff straightens up from over his beakers and pushes his goggles into his hair. How convenient for you to express your discontent right as I finished this crucial step of the filtration process. This is where I ask, is everything all right? Please answer in a sentence or less. He makes it sound like I'm answering some sort of question on a test. I guess I'm not as okay as I usually am. Ah, that was what I thought. Wait outside. Why do I have to go outside? Because it's going to take me a while to finish this filtration, and I know well enough you would dread putting on the lab equipment required to stay in here for that long. When I am finished, you can discuss with me the finer points of your malice and what I can do to hopefully rid you of it. Oh, that's really nice of you, Jeff. Is this even him or some freaky twin? Not at all. I am only doing it to practice. I haven't been approached to solve another's depressingly simple problem for some time now. I'm afraid of going rusty. Never mind, this is Jeff all right. As insincere as his motives are, I'll still take all the help I can get at this point. I head outside and stand near the door to wait for him. Some people pass me by, and I'm sure I look like some weird girl waiting out in the hall by herself, but I eventually hear the lab door open and look. When I see it's Jeff still wearing all his gear, I shove my phone back into my pocket. That wasn't too long. It was only like 40 minutes. I'm simply much more efficient than I give myself credit for. There's a smack of latex as Jeff begins to peel the only glove he has on. You're free to begin at any time. I am listening, though I may not stop if you begin to bore me. The reason I'm kind of blah is because I'm just stressed out in general. If I'm not telling anyone about those messages, there's no way I'm gonna tell Jeff. But I came to talk to Professor Garver because I wanted to ask about someone in the chemistry club. And with that, you have managed to completely pique my interest. For what reason do you have need of this info? And of whom? I garner it isn't for blackmail purposes? If I was the blackmailing type, you'd be so busted by now. I want to know more about Alicia Henrik, one of the girls who went missing last year. A faint look of surprise crosses Jeff's face. You didn't strike me as the type who'd be interested in those disappearances. I guess I just can't keep my nose out of other people's business. Well, if you're thinking of asking Garver, that was, bluntly put, stupid move on your part. There's no way he would have discussed the type of info you're probably looking for. And what type is that? Raw opinion. Jeff shrugs, shaking the floppy glove that he has in his hand. I hoped he turned that inside out first. Garver is a professional. Therefore, he is only allowed to give unbiased, roundabout answers to any deep inquiry you may make. I, on the other hand... He places a hand on his chest, gesturing to himself. Am not a professional. I can tell you what you need to know, with no need for the usual rigmarole. You should be delighted that I'm offering to help in the first place. I will be, sure, but I don't know if I can really trust Jeff, of all people, to give me accurate information. Were you in the chemistry club, Jeff? With talent like mine, how could I have not? Is what you'd expect me to say, no? Truth be told, I was not a part. I have no interest in organizations such as those. It's much too exhausting being around the same group of people for so long. However, I have heard of some of the exploits from the big man himself. You mean Garver? I huddled close to Jeff, so there's no chance of us being overheard. Did he mention anything about Alicia? Only that she was his prized pupil. Very smart, very bright. Somewhat like you, I suppose, except not. Aw, Jeff, you flatter me. I have my moments, but where you are far more relaxed, Alicia was an uptight, wound coil ready to burst at the slightest unforeseen circumstance. Ah, if only I had been there to have seen the explosion for myself. Jeff dreamily sighs like we're not talking about someone having a vicious meltdown. Anyway, she was the type who didn't have much free time. I remember seeing her at the library in the late hours of the night, toiling away at her studies. I would consider it a sad situation if I cared. I doubt she had much time to relax. So she never had much free time on her hands. Who knows? But I would say that she did spend a good amount of time out of her room and on campus. I suppose everyone was used to it and decided to simply see her when they see her, as they say. Late nights studying in the library, and then running around working for her clubs. Yeesh, I would not want to be her. And now you see why I'm morally against organizations such as that. Don't you intern here, though? Yes, but this is not a club. It is an internship. I can claim work experience from this. This, at least, provides a means to an end. I guess so, but anyway, is that all you know about her? Yes. Is that all you needed to know? Well, I did have a few more questions. Too bad. I must return to analyze my results. I lower my eyelids at Jeff's tone of voice. But hey, I got this much out of him. I should be grateful. Well, thanks for your help, Jeff. I guess you're not as rusty as you think. Jeff smugly busts his nails against his shirt. Oh, anytime, assistant. Use that information wisely for whatever trivial need you require it for. Sounding completely unconcerned, Jeff waves me off and heads back inside the lab. I wonder if he would even care that I was the potential target for the abductor. I bet he just asked them for some tips on how to be more nutso than he already is. Well, in the end, I did manage to learn more about Alicia, like I planned. She doesn't seem like the irresponsible type. It makes me wonder how the abductor got their hands on her in the first place. And I'm going to end this episode here. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you want to see more, just click the eye at the top and don't forget to subscribe. Thank you guys for watching.